Hello.
Right now, it is $14.
Know what else is $14?
If Doom 3 is $14, you overspend.
No.
Oh, it's normally 20, so that's a great price.
Welcome to Mars.
All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Bye.
If you're looking for someone to help you, just head to reception.
All right. I'm here in Mars. Here for the dark. The dark and gritty. Are there really no subtitle options?
For this game, I don't think so. No, there are no subtitle options for this one. Oops.
This updated port was like...
Also, could you do me and the rest of your potential audience a favor and turn motion blur down?
Oh.
Because
1000%.
I don't know how it looks on your end, but here it looks awful.
Motion blur disabled. Oh, don't worry. That's good for me too.
Red squares on the floor for a bioscan. This will only take a second. Okay, let me get this started.
Alright, what difficulty am I playing on?
As long as you're not playing on the highest,
I'm playing on veteran.
That's fine. It's not a difficult game.
Alright, so, Doom 3, the sequel to Doom 2.
You're gonna need to hold still. Moving around
Which was already a disappointing sequel.
It was more of the same, which was what they did back then.
I would disagree. I think Doom 2 is pretty good.
I don't like the invisible units. I also feel that the more complex labyrinthine level of design in 2 is just needless.
Listen, there are some real Sandy Peterson-ass Sandy Peterson levels in Doom 2.
Welcome to Mars. First time? You can just leave your bag there.
Welcome to Mars, Doom man.
Doom 2 is
Okay,
bad,
there's a
but
few
like,
things we need to
Doom
take
1
care
is
of
better
first.
than 2.
This is your personal data assistant.
I don't
You
disagree,
need this to access all secure areas.
but also the
Clearance
super
in any
shotgun.
security zones,
I agree with the
download
statement.
directly.
The
It's
super shotgun is
important,
one thing, but
so
also
don't
like
lose it.
just the increased number
I
of
see
enemies
here that
and the
Sergeant
increased
Kelly
variety
has
in
requested
enemies.
your immediate attention. Head directly
I think
to
makes
Marine
Doom
Command.
2
It's just
in a lot
that way.
of
Follow the
levels
sign.
a really interesting game. Sometimes it makes for a really frustrating game because
Yeah, like the
design
Icon of
gets-
Sin boss battle.
Yeah, that sucks. But
Yeah, you
entire
kill
thing of,
John
shooting
Romero's head though.
That's actually the easiest way to
here
beat that
because
boss,
there seems to be
honestly.
some very serious
Otherwise, you're just stuck shooting
really?
fucking
Do I need
rockets
to
into
remind
that
you of the
specific part
groundbreaking
of the
work that we're
Icon of
doing
Sin while
here?
shit just
No.
fills into a single
But I've been
round.
authorized
Such
by
a
the
bad
board to
ending.
look
it's
at
yeah,
everything.
it's an awful boss
The
design.
board authorized you?
It's almost as bad as like
The
Quake
board
1's
doesn't know
final
the
boss
first thing
where you
about
have to
science.
telefrag the
All
giant
they want is
Cthulhu
something to make
monster.
them more money, some product. Don't worry.
It's almost as if
They'll
id
get
has
their
this
product.
problem of making final bosses
After
that
how
don't
many
suck shit.
accidents? Tell me,
Hey
Dr.
Braden,
Kruger,
what
why
would
are
you
so many workers
say
still
if I told
continuing
you that
requesting transfers off
the
Mars?
bald guy who's not wearing
They
glasses
simply
is
can't
kind of
handle
evil?
life here.
You're telling me the guy who's talking in a sinister manner?
If I had a larger, more competent staff and bigger budget,
Who has one milky white eye?
Yeah, I'm saying he might be
I'm
bad.
afraid you'll get nothing
Yeah, he
more
might not
until
be on
my
the up and
report
up.
is filed with the board. I will need full access, Dr. Petruga, Delta included. I won't have any difficulties doing that, will I?
only if you get lost, Swan. Just stay
I'll
out
never
of my
forget
way.
that like
Amazing
id
things will happen here
used this
soon.
game, especially
You
on
just wait.
PC, as like their big like
Let's go.
statement of like, all you people adopting Unreal, you should adopt id Tech. It's so much better. And people are like, yeah, you made this thing that's really good for like making Doom.
Yeah,
And it's
congratulations.
not
The
at
reason
all
this game
cool.
looks the way it does is because...
You brute forced it rather than make an engine that's just easy to program for.
Are you telling me that perhaps John Carmack
Miller, you hear about Corporal
is a man who does not necessarily care all that much
Super Turbo Turkey Puncher Shriek.
about usability when designing an engine because he just wants to make something as powerful as possible?
Yeah, a super genius maybe doesn't understand that some people don't necessarily know as much or are as good as him.
I mean, this. Okay, I can't believe I'm gonna say something like positive about Facebook, but it sure does say a lot that after they kicked out John Carmack, that all of their VR headsets became more affordable and user-friendly concepts and designs.
Oh, you mean Oculus? Yeah. Yeah, the Meta Quest, listen, for as much as Facebook is an evil company that actively has contributed to genocide through their own inaction, those Meta Quest headsets are very slick.
They're very slick, they're easy to use out of the box, and
They understand the concept of VR.
They
And the
also
limitations.
understand that most people who are interested in VR probably don't want to spend more than $400.
Yeah, they don't want to spend $1,000 on a VR headset that also requires a $2,000 computer.
I mean, isn't that the fault of the? Isn't that also a fault with the Valve thing index?
Yeah, that's the reason why that a lot of those early let's say, Quest 2.
I do think it needs to be clarified to Braden here that you don't get anything for this.
What?
Unless, yeah, you get some enjoyment out of this.
I think there's an achievement now.
Yeah, there is in the BFG edition, that's it.
Well, that's the version we're playing! Because I couldn't get the console commands to work.
I've gotten that achievement before, and it's going to take you a little while.
Wait a minute.
How many points do I need?
Braden? Can I ask you, please tell me you're playing this on mouse and keyboard?
Yes!
Okay. Oof.
I've played this with a controller before.
But also, this game does not require precise aim. This game seems like it would work just fine on the Switch.
It would. I played it with
Because
a
it's on the
controller like
Switch.
10 years ago, it's fine.
Are you...
What?
This
You
is
need
why
25,000.
This is why first-person shooters died.
When did first-person
With a
shooters die?
controller.
Are you talking about that Danny O'Dwyer video? Because I have some strong feelings about that.
Yeah, I am
That
talking about
video
the
is
Daniel
not-
Dwyer video.
That video's got a whole bunch of, like, words in it, and they don't really amount to anything.
Because it's the thing he's doing for some VC firm.
Yeah.
And I feel like the one he did on Baldur's Gate was also very, like, blasé nothing speak.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing because the ones that weren't blase nothing speak, I think were incredible, like the Arcane and Deus Ex ones.
Oh yeah, no, I think Danny has absolutely done some good documentaries when it hasn't, you know, outside of maybe, let's say, Fallout 76. It's fine, no one's watching this.
I know one.
You have
There's six people watching.
Six people
There's
watching.
6 people watching you punch
6
these
people,
turtles.
huh?
So that
I'm one
means
of
it's
them.
Justin, me, and 3 to 4
4
other
people.
people that aren't.
Are probably also watching Joku do whatever he's doing.
I bet Jatsu's in there. Jatsu, chime in.
Jatsu is
opinions?
people.
Jatsu, tell me your opinion about Danny O'Dwyer.
Do you have any hot
Canadians
takes
still
about
Irish.
how the man did a 4-spec? Do I know where Bryce is? No. A 4-spec internal documentary on the history of Valve. That's how he got to do his Half-Life documentary. Was doing a corpo.
That one's kind of bad.
See, that's why the Sneak King one is the best thing he put out this year. I'm not even joking.
I haven't seen it. I like.
What
some
if
of
I
his
told
stuff,
you Sneak
but
King
it's
was
not
made
wrong.
by the Dizzy people? That's right, the same people behind everyone's favorite Amiga game. Dizzy, King of the Yoke-folk. Shout out to all the Brits not watching this because it's like 4 a.m. there. Alright, I did it.
Congratulations. You got the most difficult achievement in the entire game.
Yeah, I don't know. Danny's done some good work.
Attention.
Boy, the
Dr.
Valve
Braddock,
one
please
really did
report
rub
to
me the wrong
Environment
way.
Management Office.
I've seen it, but I don't remember anything. about
I'm not gonna be too precious about it because the man has a family to feed.
Took your sweet time, Marine.
And then the VR one
Here's the situation.
I don't wanna get
Another
too
member of the science
angry
team's
or
gone missing.
put by
Since
it,
you're the
but
ranking FNG,
that
you
one
get
in
to find it.
particular
I
felt
want you to check
wrong.
out the old decommissioned comm facility. We heard you might be heading that way. The only way there is through the service passage under Mars City. I programmed this sentry to guide
But
you to
yeah,
the
I think
maintenance
the
elevator.
calling it
Follow the
nothing
sentry
speak,
better than
where
you
it's
followed
like,
orders so
this
far.
just feels like
Pick up some
basic
gear at the
surface
security
level, like,
checkpoint at the
Insights
bottom.
like, you know, they make many different kinds of games in first person.
Do not hurt him.
okay,
Now move
and
out.
Yes, and. But, you know,
Attention UAC personnel. Interested in earning more credits? Volunteer at Delta Labs today. See your service branch director for more details.
Did you hear what Carter said?
I can't get too snide about it.
Strange creatures or something down in Delta.
There are other, let's say, friends of the site whose, projects I find less impressive.
like mine.
The UAC cares about the quality
No,
of your
I'm just saying,
Please take advantage
hey,
of
how
the
many people do you think are playing the
quality
Anacrusis? Hey, remember that game? The people who worked on Left 4 Dead? No, the other ones.
Not the evolved people.
Yeah, not the Turtles.
I also don't know who you're referencing by saying, hey,
So Chet Falasek, you know, went off and started his own little team to make the Anacrusis, which is
Welcome to the dungeon.
Left 4 Dead.
Most unexciting place on Mars.
Oh, Steve
I need
Bloom.
you to grab some armor and secure your pistol before I
Steve
can pass
Bloom
through
plays a
security.
couple of roles.
Okay, grab your gear.
You can hear Spike Spiegel several
Now you're
times.
ready for combat. Let me do a radio test. MarsSec radio check. Excellent. Good signal. Looks like you've been assigned the decommissioned comm facility.
Also, I think this is one of the
Follow the main
goofiest looking
passage
pistols
through
I've
the
ever seen.
underground
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's where Will
Left
Smith
click
was
evac.
working.
What better
Was.
than the
Oh,
Martian
right.
surface
But
than
I
to
don't
run across
know, man. Like, remember when Will Smith
Okay,
tried to do a
you're all
talk show
set.
using VR?
Oh yeah, well,
And-
I believe he's also said that his time working at Fu was a bad time.
Yeah, I mean, but also remember when he left to basically shill VR as
Yeah.
the future of television?
Those people are very funny to me. Because I remember 10 years ago, about 10 years ago, when everyone was like, oh, VR's the future. Oh, listen, I played this demo. And
I guess this is
You gotta read the PDA. You just
ugh.
remember one of them is 451 because reference to Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah.
I think he might have already passed that one.
Okay. I think I've told this story before, so I guess I'll say this here. I remember when Will was still doing Extra Life.
Oh god, it might be one of the ones you have to listen to. Like, click on it and listen to the voice.
God. Listening to audio logs in a goddamn Doom game?
Anyways, so he was doing. Remember when Will was really into PUBG?
Or it might be there.
Uh-huh.
And he had his own server, and he
Yep.
had his own, like, rule set, and he wanted to, like, play PUBG with the Giant Bomb community, but he has his own special rules.
Uh-huh.
And one of his rules was don't juice.
Yo,
Like,
what's
what the
poppin', boys?
What the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, no, like when players go down in my world, it's supposed to be kind. That means you don't kill people in my games. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, you don't, like, finish people off?
You're not supposed to finish people off. Otherwise, he wants those users banned from his server. And so obviously, you know, people who have been playing PUBG, and this is a real problem, watching Giant Bomb's feature with PUBG until they got, you know, a turkey dinner where, like, Dan and Jeff and... You remember, like, the weird... What was it? Like, not Dead Island, but, like... It was the recurring video of them constantly playing PUBG until, as a team, they won. And so there was this massive disconnect. It's like, I'm gonna really have to ban a lot of you guys because you're killing each other. You're not supposed to kill each other on my server. And it's like, it's a fucking first-person battle. It's a battle royale game.
Well, that's probably he moved to Fortnite, right?
You still have to kill people in Fortnite.
Do you? I thought it was a game where you did sick dances.
All I'm saying is that this guy Will really wanted people to, like, follow these very weird rules that no one other than him, people that he gravitated towards him, were willing to follow.
Yep.
And we were like, we're not gonna enforce this. What are you, crazy? No.
But hold up, was this person like trying to use PUBG as a role-playing game?
No.
You could still follow the rules. You weren't just supposed to, as they would put it, you're not supposed to juice. No juicing, which means characters can go down, but characters cannot die. You cannot finish the kill.
You just have to wait for them to bleed out.
Then how do you... That sounds like... That sucks.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Well, I mean, technically, hold on. I don't know about... I mean, in PUBG, correct me if I'm wrong,
please. You must let me get this communication out. They have to be warned while there is still time. I can't let...
Yeah.
Know what I've seen. You can't possibly understand.
You all lose.
Because, like, no, I mean, but, like, because...
It's real.
I play Apex Legends, and people do, like, finish off other people in Apex Legends, but it's considered, like, a hardcore thing to do. Like, people will call you sweaty and casual. It's like a thing to do in framework.
I mean, people call you sweaty if you do anything in casual in any game.
I have a question. Is the stream just started, or are you guys with that?
Braden has just now started his stream doing Glee.
Oh, he's dead.
He's a zombie now.
I'm gonna drop out and rejoin on my Xbox because I want to play.
Alright, I'll turn you up a little bit.
What?
I'll turn you up on Discord a little bit. You're a little...
you should hold off on doing that. I'm gonna be able to use my good microphone on my Xbox.
Oh no.
I don't know why my computer doesn't like my good microphone.
All you
Discord is great.
Sergeant Kelly. We're under attack by an unknown enemy force. Fall back to Marine HQ to regroup.
Shot that guy. You know, it's like hell
Say again, fall back to Marine HQ and await.
Hell has come to Mars.
So, I forgot about this, but in the bottom left, your flashlight has a battery.
That's silly.
That is not a thing in the original game. Are you stuck?
No, we're supposed to go back.
Squad leaders give sit rep. Over.
Yeah. Also, you have oxygen on Mars surface. That's fine.
Oh.
Main power systems down at some level. Backup and life support systems only. We've got lots of civilian casualties. It's a mess. Command HQ attempting to secure the area.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I need to put some more stuff on the stream deck. Some more buttons. Because right now I just have,
Wizards and Warriors 2000 is a computer role-playing game developed by Heuristic Cards.
which I think is very funny. But I need other things from my soundboard.
All units, this is Command HQ. Report directly to Marine Headquarters and await further orders.
Yeah, it was this or play more Lifeline, and I don't actually want to play more Lifeline. But, you know, I will at some point. Maybe tomorrow. Need to figure out. Because, yeah, this and Half-Life 2 were, like, the two big tech piece showcases of 04. And, you know, a lot of this game looking the way it does is because these environments are very confined and very dark. Okay, there we go. That's a shotgun. In a Doom game.
Uh-huh.
Now we're playing a video game, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Before...
Can you do me a favor? Can you turn on your flashlight and look at that guardrail or whatever and see if a shadow shows up on the other side of it?
It does not appear to create a shadow.
Oh, there's a little one.
A little bit.
Okay, because there was a, when this game came out, can you go to the, when this game came out, there was a short bit where a guy, they decided not to include, I forget what kind of shadows it was, but there was some kind of shadows that just weren't included. I think they're still turned off, because someone said they look like shit, and I'm like, that's this game's legacy.
Oh, it's an imp. Like in the video game Doom.
Hello?
Hello. How are you doing, Harley? Harley? Oh no.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Aha, figured it out.
You go into, where is it? Can you go back into game options real quick? Oh, never mind.
Video game, what the fuck? Why did it fucking crash?
Oh boy, do you have to do the entire prologue all over again?
No.
It auto-saves.
This game has autosaves. This remaster's from 2012.
Yeah, it has autosaves. But that was weird.
Alright, what was I doing in my video game last?
What are you playing?
Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. because it's actually pretty fun.
All units, this is Sergeant Kelly.
Oh.
We're under attack by an unknown enemy force. Fall back to Marine HQ.
Oh, this is fairly far back. I just wanted to turn the volume down.
Have you considered that the game hates you?
The game always hates me.
Oh, wow. I know I finished this version of the game once when it came out, but every other time I've played this was the original version.
That is a cliff.
What would you say is id's best game?
Rage 2.
That's not
Quake.
an id game, actually.
Is it not?
No.
Doom 2016. I will also accept Quake.
Rage 2 was Avalanche.
That's right.
The Avalanche that made Just Cause 2.
I like Hover Tanks 3D.
Big fan of Commander Keen. Catacomb 3D.
I like Doom RPG.
Did
And
id
Orcs
make
and
that?
Elves.
Yeah, Carmack made that himself.
Hmm.
Because it was... Making game on phone, that's a challenge that John Carmack would undertake.
But it was actually a good game is the part that's surprising, because he never seemed to have much to do with the actual like game development, just the tech.
Is Quake Champions still going?
Are those
I still
servers
think
still
it's
up? I
id.
believe so.
Yeah, Quake Champions. So the hardest difficulty of this game
Nightmare.
requires, huh?
Yeah, Nightmare
Nightmare?
difficulty.
Yeah, it requires that you your health constantly ticks down, and you have to use the you have to use an item, like an in-game item that the game actually gives you at the beginning to kill enemies with and get your health back. And I forget the name of the item.
That seems like a pain in the ass.
It is genuinely difficult. Also, I don't think this game is difficult any other way.
I don't know, the game just crashing when you open the options menu is pretty...
Yeah,
that's pretty hard.
That's difficult.
One thing I do appreciate about this game, the base FOV is 90. Which is, as someone who's played too many 360 era video games.
You ever think how, so when did this game come out?
04.
2004.
And the BFG edition was 2012.
So, 2012 was when the BFG edition came out. Do you ever think about how Brutal Doom comes out a few years prior to the BFG edition? And say what you will about Brutal Doom.
I will.
Especially those horrible Mortal Kombat-esque fatality animations.
Or the part where the dude who made it took like used actual pictures of gore for some of his photo textures.
Sergeant Mark IV is apparently a complete asshole and maybe a sociopath.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. All valid things to say. However, Brutal Doom reached such a level of ubiquity that it spawned kind of its own parallel mod scene of its own.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it basically became a game in its own right.
Yes.
Have you ever played Brutal Doom?
I played through the entirety of Doom 1 with Brutal Doom just to see.
Yeah, like, I did, and I was like, this is fucked up, and also continued playing it because I was just fascinated.
Yeah, it's like, it's not balanced.
No.
The shotgun sound is blown out.
Yeah. And, like, it's clearly made by... Yeah, by someone who is a weird, violent sociopath.
But again, like, it leads to its own little...
Yes. There's
world.
Brutal Doom Black, which looks like a parody of what people who are like...
Brutal Doom Black, to me, it feels like you took Doom 64 and applied the Brutal Doom idea to it, because it just looks like that weird claymation. Like, I love the weird claymation look of Doom 64.
Yes.
I hate playing Doom 64, but I love the claymation.
I like Doom
animating.
64.
I just wish that... Yeah, I don't know.
There's a surprise spawn right here.
Cool.
But yeah, there is also a Brutal Doom 64. Of course there is, because everyone has done...
I mean, there's a huge community of Doom stuff out there. If you don't want to interact with the Brutal Doom stuff, you don't have to.
I mean, there was at one point a consideration to do a streaming feature called Wadvember, in which I played weird Doom wads and games using the Doom engine. I could play Hand of Necromancy, which is a game that uses GZ Doom and is clearly inspired by Heretic, and is also clearly made by one dude from Eastern Europe. You can tell because the characters' quips are of an accent.
Ricky, Doom 3 is good Doom. It's just different Doom.
It's the dark, gritty, mid-aughts reboot.
This version of Doom 3, the BFG edition maybe isn't the best, but...
I don't like Doom 3, period. I feel like this game's start is so goddamn slow.
I mean, once you get... Oh, don't get stuck on that. Once you get,
oh, cool.
Past... Once you get past the, opening, where the guy goes, you know, I kicked the devil's cage or whatever,
I mean, it's not as bad as Prey 1.
Oh, don't worry. That's,
Listen.
That might be coming up.
Slander against Prey 1. You got to play as a Native American.
Yeah, but what about all
Know what is a better first-person shooter where you play as a Native American? Turok.
I cannot hear either of you.
Yeah. Well, Turok is the answer.
There's a health station next to you in there, by the way.
Oh.
That you just walked past.
What did you say, ZP?
I'm gonna eat this food.
Said something about Prey featuring a lot of, like, spiritual stuff. Like Native American spiritual stuff.
No, yeah, like the weird part where whenever you die, you go to the spirit realm.
Your grandfather, you go to the spirit realm with your ghost grandpa.
To get magical juice or health.
Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. 3D Realms made that game, so I would take this with a huge grain of salt, because it's the same people that made Shadow Warrior.
3D Realms made the original version of the game. The people who finished the game were Human Head.
Oh. Isn't George Broussard involved in both anyway?
Probably.
Didn't they spend a lot of time like talking to Native American tribes about that?
But anyway, I want to play that Turok 3 remaster. Is my actual point. Is this for Dubious Wheel? Sure. This is Ghosts of Dubious Past. This is... That's kind of why I wanted to play this. Is, because I just wanted to move forward with the Dubious horror? Question mark? Is this a horror game?
Yeah.
Is this Dubious?
I mean, this is...
Parts of this game have genuinely had me spooked before. But again, that was the original version and the Xbox version. This is basically Fulbright in comparison.
I just need to play a shooty shoot game and hide from my family.
Understandable.
Not that I dislike my family. But sometimes... Okay, yeah, just no way to avoid that damage, huh?
I have never found a way to avoid that one. There's not much of that in this game. I think that's one of a handful of locations.
It's like that monster came out of a closet.
Yeah, it's a real problem with the design of this game.
I mean, that's also Doom 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's almost as if games have progressed to where that cheap trick doesn't really fly at this point.
I mean, again, usually when you see an item and you pick it up and a bunch of monsters pop up, that's just a trope of early Doom games to me, so...
Alright, I have 3 health.
Also, this shotgun is legendarily not dependable.
Yeah, this shotgun seems bad.
It's not great. You'll get an SMG in a minute, and
that's more effective.
Yeah. Yes, this engine was used for Prey 2006 and Quake 4.
Even worse game than this.
Also, to answer your question, ZP, sorry, about all the weird spiritual nonsense, and about how when you die you go to the spirit realm with your grandfather. That's actually just how it works in real life.
So I just need to shoot my arrows to the red eagles.
Well, no, I don't know if it'll work that way.
I think there's another thing in there that allows you to open that up. In that,
I'm just saying that the actual implementation of that is just kind of annoying and not a lot of fun to actually play. And like the weird gimmick of that game of like with the weird portal tomfoolery like is cool, and then you realize that it's basically just the like their version of the jump pads in like Unreal.
I would, yeah, WK, I would say that it seems like Unreal marketed itself better. Unreal seemed, I can't say this for sure, but Unreal games seem to perform a lot better on consoles because
it was also just downright easier to program for. At the end of the day, Unreal Engine, you can make fun of the fact that everything that's made on Unreal looks the same. It was just downright easier to make, and Epic understood how to create a licensing deal that appealed to all sorts of software developers. Like, people were making indie games using Unreal Engine. No one was using id Tech for smaller projects for a reason.
Be careful. I don't know.
It was built to be this giant graphical powerhouse with the mid-tier and small-tier developers at no point a priority. Because John Carmack just wants to
John
advance
Carmack
technology.
was too busy making games that John Carmack could program. And that's, you know, hey, they got this game running on an original Xbox.
I mean, id were very good at manipulating this engine, but also, like, I don't know, like,
again, we're just gonna have to agree to
get...
disagree. I view this as like a dark age for id. Like this.
Oh,
Quake
sure,
4,
it definitely.
then,
Quake 4 was Raven.
Yeah,
but like this is a dark age for id.
Oh, sure.
I mean, to some degree, yeah, but like, I don't think this game. I like this game. I liked Rage. I don't think either of them are amazing games.
Oh god. So the
but
problem with Rage is that it was such a technically demanding, and John Carmack was just so non-negotiable in the production of that game that they weren't willing to ship it.
I think it. Yes, it does need to be clarified that John Carmack had some ideas about how engines
mega textures
and it's not just mega textures, and that affected the use of his engines. That affected how people made his games, and that dude was definitely just making tech demos. I don't think you can call Doom 3 and Rage like genuinely bad games. You can call them boring.
I don't. I genuinely think Rage is a bad game. I will actually take that stance. I think that the entire last third of that, when you get off the planet and you get to the fucking the final act of that game, that part of the game sucks shit.
You don't get off the planet. You just go underground.
You just go underground, whatever.
Yeah, it's an underground base.
That entire underground base shit sucks shit. It's awful.
Okay, sure, but just as a thing to play, I enjoyed playing it. Is what I'm saying. I can see why you call it boring. But for me, it played well. I found the car combat fun. I originally played it on a 360, so I thought it.
How expensive was the rig to run this in 2004? I'm gonna say, even adjusting for inflation, less than a rig to run AAA games today.
Yeah, graphics cards were weirdos, so they were reasonably priced. It was still a niche thing, but
if you wanted to run, this was still in the era where like you could get pretty much every game was going to support 640 by 480. So if you were willing to play on lower settings, probably not as ridiculously expensive as you'd expect, but not cheap.
And so this game comes out after 3DFX shits the bed, and this is before AMD buys ATI, so there's actual like competition in the GPU market.
But the other thing, as far as the technology goes, the other thing worth mentioning is that John Carmack is a massive fan of OpenGL for whatever reason, and everybody else was just making games using DirectX. So different. This game was running on like different libraries than everything else.
The GL in OpenGL stands for Graphic Library.
Yeah. I would agree that between Quake 3 and Doom 2016, id did not make any great games.
I mean, they also made like 2 games, period.
Yes.
Specialist Wilson, my team is gone. They're all dead. I'm running blind.
Do all the enemies just run right at you? Yes.
Kinda, pretty much. Later in the game, Mancubuses and Revenants and stuff don't do that. I think Hell Knights also tend to. They can get up in your face if they want to, but most of the time they throw stuff at you from far away. At the time, I think it was owned by, was it Vivendi?
No, they were independent.
Yeah.
But there was somebody investing in them.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that was ZeniMax.
I mean, Bethesda eventually bought them, but before ZeniMax was doing
ZeniMax.
stuff
That's wrong. So ZeniMax was the company that So Bethesda and ZeniMax are technically the same company, but ZeniMax is the label. But no, yes, Bethesda, ZeniMax, which owns all subsidiaries, bought id in 2009.
I mean, they eventually did, but before Rage, there were like Vivendi was publishing. I think they published the console version of this game.
Yeah.
And they were. I think they published this as well. They were working with other publishers before ZeniMax. Yeah, he's playing on Veteran, which is the.
I mean, they also bought.
Yeah, I'm a gamer. I play on hard. I get attacked by an imp that spawns directly behind me.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Braden's current opinion of this game is in the negative.
What are you talking about? I love Doom. I'm all like.
I think it's a weird, really weird thing, but like we've reached the point to where like Kevin Cloud and Robert Duffy and goddamn even Donna Jackson, their tenure at id has now like exceeded that of the Carmacks, of Romero, of like the big titans that like defined the company at the start.
Yeah.
All right, I have it on pretty good authority that John Carmack still has his brain uploaded at their computers.
Oh.
I mean, the whole situation with him and the giant lawsuit of John Carmack just was a very funny thing.
Because there's still a little bit of that, like, anarchist hacker ethos to him. Well, libertarian hacker.
Yeah, right.
Where he's just like, fuck you, this is mine. But you know, I'm
just glad John Romero still seems like a pretty chill dude.
Yeah, I just wish that the games that he made with his wife were good.
That'd be nice, yeah, but
I have Empire of Sin installed right now.
It's a very boring game. You should.
Yeah, it's like if that game put more emphasis on either the combat or the management, it would be a much better game.
Do you have ammo for the SMG?
I do.
It's a much more reliable weapon.
Yeah. Hey, and it seems like they've mended the fence at least enough to, you know, talk about Doom for its 30th anniversary. Because they were on a stream together.
I don't think Carmack and Romero hate each other anymore, but I don't think they're interested in each other.
Oh no, they shouldn't.
Each other? I'm not caught up on the deep lore between these two idiots.
Have you read Masters of Doom?
Why would I do that?
It's
Pretty good book.
It's a very good popular history on the founding of id Software.
But it seems like in the 90s when Romero left id after Quake came out, John Romero and John Carmack had a lot of tension between each other because Romero was kind of goofing off, and Carmack was like, "No, we need to
finish these Quake levels."
And also, I would say, Justin, if something that's incredibly important, I know you said it as a positive, like John Carmack has since recanted saying if he could do things over again, he would never publish using OpenGL ever again.
Okay. Yeah, that...
I mean, he also said that he would have let the Saturn Doom use warping textures.
Like, the release of id Tech 4 occurred despite, like, patent concerns from Creative Labs over Carmack's, like, Carmack's reverse shadow volume technique, which he actually stole from another company without paying the license for it. So, like, that was not cool.
Yeah. These days, like, there's OpenGL and Vulkan and
he said he has now said that if he could do it again, he would have done a BSD license.
Okay.
Which is absolutely bananas.
That sounds like a worse idea. That sounds like you should just use DirectX like everyone else.
All right. I found the quote.
Use Vulkan.
So the recent discussions around Copilot are a good opportunity to say this. I wish I could have licensed the id source code releases as BSD. The OpenGPL virality wound up being a net negative, and more value would have come from BSD. My partners would never have gone for it, though. I touched on that recently with the comment about open source culture and game dev. The best aspects of GPL work didn't manifest, but tons of opportunities to just copy-paste modify were lost due to license concerns. It is possible that some of the source ports wouldn't have been as open, but I'm pretty sure there would have been more total users of the code, likely making the amount shared in the open still greater. Overall, still supportive of lots of GPL work, but I don't think the restrictions help in this particular case.
Hold on a minute. Wait, before you continue any further, I'm not talking about licenses. I'm talking about OpenGL and DirectX, which are graphics APIs. Those are libraries that tell the game how to talk to graphics card.
He's like basically walked back everything he said about OpenGL in general. Also, John Carmack paying for a blue check mark on Twitter. Might I imagine?
That does not surprise me at all.
That sounds about right.
Oh.
Is that the 451?
No.
I don't think so.
There's
it might be in your... You might
be in my PDA. Gotta read files in a game called Doom.
What if I told you that the last thing that John Carmack has posted on Twitter is to remind people that Sherlock Holmes never actually said elementary, my dear Watson, in the books?
I'm not sure who to send this to, so I decided to send it to quite a few people. If you're on the recipient list, please take a moment to review this report.
And he retweeted Jonathan Blow!
I'm very concerned over the shipping procedures out here. I am the manifest controller, and as such...
Doom 2016 did have logs, but they were never necessary.
God damn it. So after him pointing that out about Sherlock Holmes trying to be a smartass, it's him then shitting on Python for being too slow and preferring to code things on C++, and then a retweet of Jonathan Blow.
Uh-huh. So you're telling me John Carmack still kind of a libertarian.
But whoever it is, it must one of the dock workers actually told me to piss off when I tried to stop
Python is kind of slow, but its purpose is not to be fast.
I immediately filed a report and will follow up with the transit manager next time I see him. End of log.
I wish John Carmack was a person I could root for.
Listen, if I got rich in my early 20s, I would also buy 2 Ferraris.
I mean, I feel so. I think with the I think Romero's thing is his ego. I think it still exists, but also it got knocked down a peg or two.
Because of
At
Ion
least one,
Storm.
because of Ion Storm. He's already had his moment where he has to sit back and say, "Okay, maybe I fucked up, and maybe I need to check my ego a little bit." I don't think John Carmack ever had a moment where he had to do that.
Okay, cool. Just lost all that health I restored. Because of these enemies with hit scan weapons that can't be dodged.
So yeah, I'm trying to think, like, what would you have been running this on? You would have probably been running, like, a GeForce 3, or...
I don't know much about hardware at the time. Let's look up 2004. 2004 graphics cards. The other thing worth mentioning is that this is the era where...
I was in a Fry's Electronics a lot, so I feel like I would know this. Like, this would be the R200 or R300 if we were doing ATI, but I'm pretty sure this would be, like, the GeForce 3 series.
I just YouTubed the best hardware of 2000. YouTubed like 2004 graphics cards. It looks like a 6800 GT was a high-end graphics card at the time, which is about $400.
From new troop deployments from facility, October 30th, 21.
And AMD's Athlon processors were out. The 3500 is the one this article is suggesting.
Instituting mandatory refresher courses on all munitions and weapons in our armory. In response to the large number of
but yeah, like I don't think you would have been spending that much more than you would spend today, but you'd be spending it in 2004 dollars.
Additional presence should help calm things down. I expect that the incoming Marines are not quite as
also, I would say, like, the culture of making your own computer was
combat
different,
experience will go a long way
it was
right
a
now.
niche thing.
Sergeant Tyson,
It was a niche thing, and the makers of the hardware, like NVIDIA and ATI in particular, knew that they were appealing to a niche audience.
Was it really OG Doom 3, we tried to troubleshoot it. It wouldn't run in widescreen.
Yeah.
So we have this version with all the lights turned on.
He tried.
We tried the console commands.
I tried to use console commands, it wouldn't work.
I just think all of the guns in this game kind of suck.
I'm gonna say a Doom game with a bad shotgun.
The chain gun in this game does not suck. It is an objectively a very good gun.
Does it have fuller auto?
Yes, it has fuller auto. The chain gun and the plasma gun are very good. The rocket launcher is also really good. They give you a ton of ammo with it, and it has a 5-round magazine. Yeah, the plasma gun is great in this one. It's just unfortunate that it takes a little while for you to get to better guns. The BFGs
Oh, cool. A guy spawned behind me and took 80% of my health.
I do not remember as many people spawning behind me. Maybe I need to replay this.
Oh, look, a working mirror.
Lionheart, are you also a defender of Doom 3?
Lionheart, were you playing Monster Hunter with them?
Deployments for the Mars City Marine Facility, October 30th, 2145. The new troops will be arriving within a few days. I've started a series of training exercises focusing on close quarter small weapons combat, as well as instituting mandatory refresher courses on all munitions and weapons in our armory. In response to the large number of security breaches and general feelings of ill will around the base, I've doubled security details, placing 2 Marines at each checkpoint. This additional presence should help calm things down. I expect that the incoming Marines are not quite as green as
I will say, one of the things I like about this particular game, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, is they let you turn off quest markers.
Did they give you like a proper description to get you to those quests?
Yeah, so I'm currently trying to find the Shaded Grove camp, and it is somewhere in the Gossamer Lakes area. So I've just gone to every single camp that's in a lake.
That's certainly... I mean, I played a decent chunk of Ghost Recon Breakpoint with the UI minimal.
Oh god. Oh god, we started the discussion. Is this better than Half-Life 2?
I mean,
no,
it is not. I played Half-Life 2 recently. It is not, and I like this game. Of the major FPS games that came out in 2004, this isn't as good as any of them. It's not as good as Halo 2. It's not as good as Half-Life 2.
I would even argue that the contemporary Halo games that came out are much better than this.
I would say Halo 2 is a much better game than this.
I would tell you that Halo 1 and 2 are
oh!
still continue to be fantastic games.
Isn't the right lake?
I'm sorry to hear
RE4
that.
Early 2005.
What game?
RE4.
Yes, early 2005.
I mean,
Far Cry also came out this year. This is a better game than Far Cry.
I'll play some Far Cry 1 right now.
If you dislike cheap deaths, guess what?
I love getting shot from halfway. Yeah, I love fun, fair video games.
Epic released Unreal Tournament 2004, and that's a fucking banger.
But I'm mostly thinking of single-player games.
Man, single-player games, so then we would be talking about Painkiller, right?
Painkiller is very dumb.
Painkiller.
Yeah, but Painkiller's great.
Listen, I played Painkiller for... I respect People Can Fly. You know this. You know I am rooting for Polish game developers who make games where you just... I mean, I was also way more into Warcraft 3 in 2005.
Yep.
That game was formative for me.
When did Butcher Bay come out?
2004.
Oh fuck!
So I'm looking at some FPS games.
Butcher Bay is a better spooky horror kind of like game than this.
But let's look at some single-player shooters for 2004. There's the obvious Half-Life 2, Far Cry, Doom 3, Butcher Bay, Halo 2.
So of those, what do you think are better than Doom 3? Halo 2 is definitely better. Half-Life 2 is definitely better.
Halo 2, Half-Life 2.
I think an argument could be made that Butcher Bay is better than Doom 3.
It's at least more creative. Is Killzone 1 better than Doom 3?
No!
Is Painkiller... I could... Sure, if you want to argue Painkiller. I don't like Painkiller much.
I think Painkiller is funny. I don't think Painkiller is good.
I don't know.
But,
I like Painkiller, but I don't... I would not, actually.
I'm looking... Here's the thing. I'm looking at this list that I found on Google... And there is a very fast drop-off in quality. Like, once you pass, like, the Doom 3 and Far Cry and Painkiller tier, you get to, like, GoldenEye Rogue Agent.
Oh, God.
What about Postal 2?
Is that a good game?
No, it's not. And I will never play it.
Wait. Shit. Like, Soldier of Fortune came out before this.
Hi there, I'm twitch.tv/arbitrarywater. I will never play a Postal game on this channel. They don't deserve the attention.
But but you played a Soldier of Fortune game.
Soldier of Fortune is funny. You blow a man's goddamn arm off with a Desert Eagle.
Yeah, it's better than Doom 3.
But pissing on someone in a gas station is a little too much.
I'm saying very funny Osama bin Laden jokes. And being like, wow, look how transgressive we are. We said AIDS a bunch. I'm just saying Postal is like pathetic sub-South Park levels of humor. Where
What
they're...
age... Lionheart asked a good question. What aged worse, Duke Nukem or Postal?
Postal was always bad.
Duke Nukem 3D's bad jokes are at least attached to a game that is of some significance.
I don't know. I also... I'll be honest. I was an Unreal Tournament person, not an id person, and then also this was the period of my life when I started playing a lot more of Tom Clancy's games online.
Like Vegas and stuff?
No. I mean, 2003, we're talking about still
Rainbow
OG
Six,
Ghost
3.
Rainbow Six. Yeah.
And like the first
2 was 02, 03?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Rainbow Six 3. Fucking, like, Raven Shield. We're talking about also the game that coined the original term no-scoping.
Unreal Tournament 2K4 was in 2004. We don't talk about Unreal Tournament 2003. I'm to understand.
Which one of those came out on Xbox?
That was Unreal Championship, which was the weird third-person melee shooter thing. That game has Raiden from Mortal Kombat in it. Because it was published by Midway.
So would you disown me if I started playing Postal 1 and Postal 2?
I would strongly encourage you to not do that. Unreal is neat. Unreal 1, in terms of like being a technical showpiece, the first Unreal is fascinating.
People seem to think the first Unreal is a pretty good game still.
Yeah.
I miss Guar.
No, you don't.
I do actually miss Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. I like.
Oh,
that
Gra.
I thought you said Guar.
You said Guar, like the band.
No, I said Gra. G-R.
You said Guar.
Yeah, there's an R there.
No, it's Gra.
G-W-A-R. Like the
Gra. Guar is the band. Gra is the third-person shooter for the Xbox 360. Gaur Gura. I also miss her. I wish she would stream more. Because she has streamed like once in the past 6 months, basically.
Sounds like she got burnt out like everyone else.
Yeah, and yeah, it sounds like she got sick. But hey, the entirety of Sendai City is doing a crossover promotion with her.
Also, it sure sounds like based off of the people who've already, like... Everyone who's graduated has said, like, one of the reasons is like, yeah, I fucked up my back for sitting too long.
Wait. Did Wolfenstein 2009 use id Tech 4? It did.
Yes, but Truger.
That's a weird game that's, like, oddly prescient and still impacting the current Wolfenstein games. And
COD!
they find creative...
Also, Brink used id Tech 4.
The original Call of Duty was a Quake 3 engine game.
You want to talk about, like, a weirdly...
A lot of games used Quake 3 engine.
Like,
so every...
Jeff's 2 out of 5 review for Brink got a weird wave of people coming to bat for Brink in a way that just still to this day.
Who are those people? Who are the people going to bat for Brink?
At the time, absolutely it happened.
As far as the Call of Duty engine, my understanding is that it still has some Quake code in there somewhere.
But also, a lot of that stuff was excised when they did Modern Warfare 2019.
Mm.
And basically rebuilt a lot of the engine.
Yep.
Because that was their big tech refresh. Also, just to remember that Jedi Knight 1 was on a proprietary engine. It was on its own bespoke engine. Which is why Jedi Knight 1 is jank as fuck. And hard to run on modern
2017,
systems.
Brink became free to play on Steam. Oh my god.
Does it still function?
Oh my god.
Could we play Brink?
Are you saying we should get, let's say, 16 people to play Brink with us?
Absolutely start playing Brink. It's still going.
How many is it?
Lionheart. Okay, hold on. Lionheart, the first game to force every gun to have a reload, I believe, was the first Marathon. Yeah, you can blame Bungie for that one. Yes, Marathon had reloads. You did not have a reload button. You had to run out the magazine.
I refuse to read data pads, even if they help me make progress.
I don't know. I kind of like the data pads in Doom 2016 and Doom.
Yeah, because those are funny.
Like all of the weird data pad stuff, especially in the DLC for Doom Eternal, is the best part of that shit.
I never played the DLC for Doom Eternal.
So many fucking marauders, God. I hate some of the characters that got the enemies that got introduced. Like, there is a variant of the Prowler, the Cursed Prowler, whatever, that will make, if they attack you, they curse you, and you have to do a blood punch on them to get rid of the curse. There's no other way to kill them. It's the worst.
Yeah, that's like a lot of Doom Eternal feels like a reaction to people who felt like Doom 2016 needed to be harder. And yeah.
I don't know if I've said it in this chat. I love base Doom Eternal. That is the best. As far as like first-person combat, I think base Doom Eternal is the best first-person combat I've ever touched. But the DLC introduced enemies that I found way too annoying to give it that.
That's
that
kind
honor.
of what everyone does with their DLC these days. Is let's make it harder.
I mean, because you're making stuff for people who have probably finished the game.
I'll say this: the game that I think that took it absolutely too far was Control's DLC, where everything is a combat arena with like the hardest boss fights imaginable, and you just gotta fucking keep going at it. Like, I did not finish the DLC for Control. Imagine if everything in Control was just that homicide boss battle over and over again.
Oh, that's good, because I really liked all of the combat in Control, which is why I didn't finish that game.
You haven't finished Alan Wake 2?
No, I finished Alan Wake 2. I finished Alan Wake 2.
No, I'm talking to Lionheart. Did you get to the musical bit? Oh yeah, now people are asking you why you don't like Control.
Why don't I like Control shooting? Because the problem with Control's shooting is that it feels very loose.
It's like a puzzle game.
No, it's not.
It's a puzzle platformer, Flutie Float.
No, fuck you.
I feel like
that's my only response.
After seeing some of the stuff you get later on in Control, I feel like I would have enjoyed that game more if I had stuck with it, but I thought it was really boring.
I just think, oh, is this their version of the Pinky?
Yep.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, you just get to a point in Control where the powers are just so much better than the guns that you might as well just... whatever.
Don't get me wrong. A video game where you telekinetically... Okay. Where you grab floor tiles and then telekinetically chuck them at people. Okay.
Did you get auto-saved in a pretty bad spot?
No, I quick-saved.
Quick saved.
Oh.
I mean, you can dodge around him to get out.
I fixed
At least I have
it.
before. Also, he takes far fewer bullets than he looks like he can take.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I would say that's a fair assessment.
What did they say?
Alan Wake 2 is definitely a little more Silent Hill than it is Resident Evil.
Oh.
I think Saga's chapters are a little more Resident Evil.
That's a spoiler for you.
That there's 2 playable characters in Alan Wake?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Because that's the thing they literally said when they announced the game.
I needed to discover it on my own. I try to stay away from spoilers.
Listen, we're not...
I can't keep it together, I'm sorry.
Listen, we're... There are people who would genuinely...
Oh my god, I have to show you this.
I'm going to hurt you.
I need to show you this thing that someone unironically posted on the fandom Discord as like, this is how I feel. Like, I have to show you this. I have to show you this. So that's the actual reason why I was laughing. It's not because of my response. It's like, this is how I feel about video games today.
Wait, is this something you posted in here? Or?
No, because I don't want to get yelled at anymore.
Yeah, because you don't want M to yell at you for flaring tensions in the Middle East.
Did you get my message?
Alright, I'm going to look at your stupid message.
Oh, now you got the chain gun. The best gun in the game. Or second best.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's pretty funny.
Isn't it good?
I chuckle. Listen, I have strong feelings also about, let's say, a certain contingent of the video game player base who are still trapped in 2004 and are like, why would I ever play, like, you know, Japanese video games are just on another level. Like, that level of person.
Oh, man.
That's like half the reason why I stopped listening to 8-4 Play ages ago. Was just like their weird casual dismissal of Western video games.
They do good localization work, though. I gotta.
Oh yeah, no, nothing against their localization work. I'm just saying that
I kind of don't want to listen to them to discuss like the.
Anytime Microsoft comes up and they're just like fucking rolling their eyes like it's 2001. Okay, I didn't actually get the data pad.
You opened the door just now, though, didn't you?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, just like the weird sneering dismissal. And then, you know, they were also the people who talked about playing Puzzle and Dragons for like 6 months straight.
Which literally is part of the reason why that entire studio is struggling financially, is because, yo, fucking gotcha. Like, you played the thing and promoted the thing that cut the entire Japanese video game industry out by its knees.
Yeah, that's why Gacha is a plague upon society.
I think it's in that other room, the red room. Did you go in there already?
Yep, I got it. Oh, demons. Oh, demons. The demons. No, John, you are the demons.
Didn't Serious Sam 2 come out in 2004?
Yeah, but Serious Sam, I think Serious Sam is bad.
Serious Sam has always sucked. But
Fanta's not here, so I can say things like, Serious Sam, a video game where you just hold the S key and press the right mouse button 3 million times per level. Not a fan.
How far do you think I would be able to get into the original Rise of the Triad before I just...
I also don't think Rise of the Triad is very good. Based on the little I have played of it. And it's why I'm not going to buy that remaster.
You like video games, Brayden?
Here's the thing. I love video games, Harley.
Well, what's your favorite of the great '90s shooters then?
Blood.
How do you feel about Blood?
How do you feel about Hexen?
I think Hexen is frustrating.
How do you feel about Heretic?
I think Heretic is fine.
How do you feel about Descent?
Descent is a video game that gives me motion sickness.
Because you're weak?
Yeah, because I'm weak and old and infirm.
How quickly would you buy, if it was available on GOG, Descent to Undermountain?
I would, if Descent to Undermountain was purchasable.
You would buy it in a heartbeat?
For money.
Money is no object for you?
586.
I'm trying to think.
I would pay exactly $10 for a copy of Descent to Undermountain. Yeah. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not a little fucked up, Rick and Slacker. But and yes, the cultists in Blood are like the most dangerous enemies in the game. But also, I think that game does the best build engine fuckery of any of those games, and it's also less horrifically racist than Shadow Warrior.
It's pretty much inoffensive.
Yeah,
area, I think.
I mean, it's the one with people on meat hooks is the least offensive build engine game.
Yeah.
It doesn't have William Shatner in it either, so that's another plus in its favor.
Oh yeah, Tech War, your favorite build engine game.
Yeah.
Aren't some of those like weirdly wait, I'm trying to think of like weird old first person shooters, like Body Count?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Chasm?
Chasm? I'm trying to remember what Chasm is.
How about Siberia?
establishing the communication.
That's an adventure game.
You're technically right.
I think the guys who made Chasm eventually moved on to make, I think it was Cryostasis.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cryostasis is special.
For Wheel of Dubious first-person shooters, did you play Witch Haven?
I did.
Oh boy.
That game is special.
And at some point, we're probably gonna have to play Stone Keep.
No, we don't need to play Stone Keep. I played it for the Wheel of Dubious RPGs. The most interesting thing about Stone Keep is just that it has FMV. Otherwise, it's kind of a bad Eye of the Beholder.
With weird FMV.
Where you only control one character at the start.
Did you play Killing Time?
I did! I installed a bizarre fan patch for Killing Time. That someone made. Because...
I remember you playing Strife, and you played Witch Haven 1, you didn't play Witch Haven 2.
No.
Right?
Strife is neat. I don't know if I wanted... I feel no shame in not playing through that entire game. And not just because there's a sassy 90s lady in your ear.
I had a lot of fun watching you play Realms of the Haunting.
Realms of the Haunting is once again, has FMV. So...
Isn't that the FMV where you, like, explore, like, a haunted mansion or something?
Yes, and then...
Then you leave the haunted mansion and the game kind of falls apart.
Yeah, and then you go to the underworld and... but yeah, it's... Realms of the Haunting is at least... Once again, it's funny.
And I feel like we've already talked about this, but Shogo has not aged well.
Shogo asks, "Hey, did you think the hitboxes and blood were a little iffy, or like the hit scan enemies and blood? What if that was the entire game, and also sometimes they just did randomly more damage to you?"
Have you played Blood 2? That's not a 90s game. That's an early.
It is 90s. Blood 2 was was 98. Because they take a shot at Half-Life in that game.
So Blood 1 came out in
97. Blood 2 was 98.
Damn, that's a quick turnaround.
Video games used to get made fast. Oh.
You could still play Kingpin, Life of Crime.
That remastering of Kingpin is apparently terrible.
Yeah, it sure is.
Also, Kingpin just seems terrible.
Play Redline.
Is it made faster, or were more people making games?
Well, more people are making games now than they ever were in the 90s. No, I see. This is the problem of, yeah. Yeah, Shogo is the most, hey, we are weebs in the 90s, and look at our sick, oh, cool. Look at our sick, posters, wall posters. We got these bootleg tapes with Goku from Miami Mike. And it's like charming, but also playing Shogo is the opposite of fun because all of the enemies are murderously accurate hit scanners.
And all that, let's say all of the mech stuff that everybody won't shut the fuck up about is like not fun as well.
Also, here's another sin that game commits that is maybe one of the most egregious things. You cannot map shoot to the left mouse button.
Nope.
What?
You have to go into a hex editor to remap the shoot button.
Okay, but like what?
What's the default button though, Brady?
Control.
Why don't you tell people?
It's control.
It's control.
Why would you?
Why would you do that?
Because again, like they were thinking about the weird mech suit stuff.
There's some help under those stairs. If you're already past it. Never mind.
Like the game is also kind of like a weird mech thing. That game tries to do a lot with a team that didn't know what to do.
Yes, they were a small, inexperienced team at Monolith, and it shows.
Wasn't that their first game after Blood?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Shogo and Blood 2 were developed at the same time. It's a whole thing. It sounds like, maybe, hey, publisher interference, get this. So, I do like first-person shooters a lot. There are just a lot of bad ones, which is why I did a streaming thing. Where I played weird, questionable first-person shooters.
What are some good ones that you like?
Okay, let me tell you about this video. I've been playing a lot of BattleBit.
BattleBit Remastered is very
yes. Good. That is a video game. Lionheart, I do like RTSs, I've decided. So, you need to understand, I used to love RTSs as a kid, and then when I got older, I realized I was terrible at them, and that kind of killed my enthusiasm, along with, the whole part where the genre died. And then, doing those streams with Relkin has made me realize, wait, no. That and playing Dawn of War 1 a couple years ago.
Don't get me emotional about what Warhammer 2 once was.
Total War Warhammer 3 still good.
Yeah, but
that game now is better than Warhammer 2 ever was.
Nah, I disagree.
That is a sentence I did not expect to hear.
No.
Why do you disagree?
I just feel like there's still just a bunch of these newer factions that are still not quite there yet, and these partially realized.
I mean, the only faction I think is in serious serious issues is Ogre Kingdoms, and also Kislev sucks still. But
and there's maybe one Grand Cathay faction you should actually play.
Yeah. Well, there was only
There was 0 at one point.
I mean, compared to, where was Warhammer 2? I just think all of that, they have done the work and shoved all of the good stuff from 1 and 2 in there. And in some cases made it better. And I think you can, if you just kind of ignore the YouTubers whose job it is to make the carpal tunnel people move to League. Yeah, no, the MOBA killed the RTS. Absolutely. That's a defensible statement.
Wouldn't League be worse on your arms?
League is worse on your arms.
It's also worse on your brain.
Yeah. A lot of let's see, or Grand Strategy, or all the turn-based stuff we give now. Yeah, Grand Strategy is kind of its own thing, where it is real-time, but not in the same way.
Braden, what if you join me in playing Paradox games?
I play Stellaris about once per yeyear. And go, yeah, Stellaris!
Why don't you play some Hoi 4 with me?
I'm not a trans anarchist or a Nazi, so I don't think I'm legally allowed to play Hearts of Iron.
Not a trans anarchist yet.
It's the future.
Listen, I'm actually pretty comfortable in my gender identity.
What if you played some Victoria? What if we did some colonialism?
I'm good. Thank you.
Play Stellaris with you.
I've never played Stellaris multiplayer. I just don't see...
Takes forever to find each other, but that's the beauty of it.
Yes, there is so much mid-turn-based strategy. Let me tell you.
I don't know. My biggest problem with Stellaris is I still think the end events in Stellaris suck. Like, they've never been good.
The weird thing is they've also been, like... They've been updating that game. Like, you know, they now have a, like, a
right,
dedicated...
That's the model. That is Paradox's model.
But I mean, in terms of, like...
I don't know how you can be surprised with it.
No, in terms of, like, that game got a dedicated content team after the main team left. But also it sounds like the most recent pack was outsourced. I don't know. But yeah, in terms of mid-turn-based strategy, listen, I have some stream ideas. I mean, that was kind of what the year of strategy stuff was that I did at the beginning of this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Lost Eidolons?
Yeah.
The Korean developed Fire Emblem, but generic grounded low fantasy.
What is the best not Fire Emblem? Because we've had a couple of them.
The best not Fire Emblem is
Is it the
I mean, other than me making the jokes about the games made by Shozo Kaga.
Shozo Kaga.
Oh.
Other than the jokes about I can make about the sorry, I'm playing the video game and it's hard to sometimes stay on topic while I'm shooting the forces of hell. Oh. There's a sprint button. You go so much faster.
you also have a stamina bar.
I think of the not Fire Emblem games I've played, I think Lost Eidolons is actually like pretty decent. Like I was goofing on that game a lot when I streamed it. And I think some of the writing in that game is, like, painful.
Alright, so now you've inspired me to find a game rant list of the 29 games to play if you liked Fire Emblem.
I'm going to fucking kill you.
I'm a dip.
Alright, see, you've killed Harley.
You know, it's just his bedtime.
Can I just read some? I won't read the bios, I'll just read. Oh man, Braden, this list is off to a great start.
Alright, what does ChatGPT have for us today?
So this is being written for many gamers who purchase Fire Emblem Three Houses or engaged on the Nintendo Switch might be on the lookout
Games
for
might be like Fire Emblem Three Houses. Does it include Persona?
Squad-based tactical gameplay blended with RPG elements and set in a fantasy world is not unique to the Fire Emblem series. Number 29. Play previous Fire Emblem games.
Okay, that's it. You did it. Done in one. You liked Fire Emblem Three Houses? What if you played a better video game? With less chaff.
Available platforms include the Nintendo Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo GameCube, the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo 3DS, the Nintendo Switch.
The Nintendo. The Nintendo Super Nintendo.
The Famicom.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's great. Oh, man, previous fine. Alright, now we're getting into the games where they're gonna make Braden's eye twitch.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, tell me. Is the Callisto Protocol worth $10.79? Yes.
Seems like as long as you only plan on playing through the first 2/3.
Yeah, as long as you enjoy a game that is, like, baffling.
Alright, number 28. This is a game you've commented about, like to avoid. Dark Deity.
Yeah, Dark Deity is it's got moxie, and I respect it. And by that I mean,
how far up this list is Symphony of War?
Symphony of the War
Hey, number
is
27, Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga.
yeah, that game's neat. I got nothing against Symphony of War.
Okay, so where's Terror Ring Saga?
Number 26, Super Robot Wars or Super Robot War Taizen.
Sure.
Front Mission on there somewhere.
Number 25, Triangle Strategy.
Sure. I need to go back to that game at some point.
Number 24, Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together.
I feel like at that point it's just a different thing.
Okay.
But it's like, hey, you like Japanese tactics games? Consider this.
Sure, but I feel like that's just a very different. Not that these listicles care, but that's just a very different school.
I feel like this is, if you're gonna put Tactics Ogre on here, this must mean that like Final Fantasy Tactics is number one. Or some interpretation of Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics is absolutely number one because.
I don't. This is. I would feel very bad if I asked a Fire Emblem fan to play this game that they have next. Number 23, the Frozen Synapse franchise.
Oh God. So, Frozen Synapse 2 apparently was not very good.
Also, those games are hard.
But also, yeah, Frozen Synapse is like brain melting in a way that I remember being very cool and also like very hard to get a grasp on.
They are chess puzzles where you have to almost play them like you're playing those old school Tom Clancy.
But it's also competitive.
Step at a time. Yeah. All right, number 22, Devil Survivor, in particular, Overclocked. I don't like those.
I don't think Devil Survivor's very good.
I don't like any of Atlus's tactics games.
I think the problem with Devil Survivor is that having a map does not actually make it any more...
Oh, you startled me. Man, am I ever glad to see you. I thought I was all alone. It's been freaking spooky lately.
Okay. Number 21, Landgreiser 1 or 2.
Sure.
Careful of that gun.
Those games have like weird army or like merging.
Landgreiser and Growlanzer. Yeah, sure.
Where's Shining Force?
Okay. Number 20, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Well, listen, if we ever get Jan Ochoa on
EA is on Game Boy Advance, and then they did a DS remake, if I recall correctly, but that's basically it.
Tactics Advance. If we ever get Jan Ochoa on the show, we should do Tactics Advance.
With their number 19, I feel like I actually do know what at least their number 2 or 3 will be. Number 19, Phantom Doctrine. So this must mean that a Firaxis game is in the top 5.
Okay, so yeah, XCOM. Not necessarily the same thing.
If you're gonna give an XCOM, Firaxis era XCOM Lite, I would not recommend them play Phantom Doctrine.
I mean, I would also say, you
that Warhammer game that you played.
Demon...
Warhammer Tactics game, yeah.
Yeah, Chaos Gate, Demon
Hunters, yeah.
Yeah, Demon Hunters.
I forget what order those nonsense words are in.
Warhammer 40,000, Chaos Gate, Demon Hunters, Duty Eternal.
Anyways, I feel like, Brayden, you could make a top 10 list of best XCOM likes.
I could.
Best Firaxis era XCOM likes.
Yes.
We've only had 1,000 of them.
It's only every tactics game released in the last 10 years.
Okay, so number 18, Advance Wars, or Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp.
That's a little cheating, but sure. as someone
still
who
think it's
replayed all of Advance Wars 1 for the first time since childhood.
I still think it's bullshit you have to complete Advance Wars 1 to unlock it.
You don't have to. They recommend it. You don't have to.
Anyways,
you do not have to.
This is actual bad advice. Number 17, the Banner Saga franchise.
I feel bad because now Harley is making me realize, oh, I am being very negative today.
It's okay. You can say what everyone should know. The Banner Saga is a mid-tier, mid. It's mid.
I think the Banner Saga is very pretty as a tactics game. I dislike it.
That's what I was trying to ask you about, first-person shooters you like, because we have been pretty negative this evening.
Yeah.
This is actually an okay piece of advice. Number 16, Blood Bowl 2.
I thought about playing Blood Bowl during the Super Bowl this year as a joke.
Okay, number 15, Octung Cthulhu Tactics.
You know what?
Oh.
Here's the thing. I think this list was made by a real person, and that disappoints me.
All right, this is... So I have to remember, this is a list that this person is writing to recommend to people who like Fire Emblem Three Houses. Number 14 is Wasteland 3.
Yeah, sure. It has everything you want. If you love anime and tactics, you'll get one of those in Wasteland 3.
I think the thinking there is that the combat is somewhat XCOM-like, and there's a whole lot of interactions with characters.
But can you date them?
I don't... Are there romances in Wasteland 3?
I don't think there are. And...
Alright.
Better for it.
Number 13, Pokemon Conquest. Problem is, none of those games made it past the DS.
I have bad news, ZP.
What? Are they on Switch?
No.
Oh.
It's very easy to pirate Nintendo DS games.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, I know that. Number 12, Dynasty Warriors God Seekers.
What?
They made a Dynasty Warriors tactics game for PS4, PS3.
Why did no one tell me about this?
It's also on the Vita.
Oh,
that
that's
makes
why.
Complete sense.
Here you go, Justin. Number 11, Shining Force 1 and 2.
I'll play those at some point and be like, yeah, that was fine.
Alright, this is the game that they picked from this franchise. Number 10, Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Yeah, that's the one you pick.
I was about to say 1 and 4 seem to have
those.
A lot of...
4 is the one you pick, because 4 is Valkyria Chronicle, all the good stuff of Valkyria Chronicles 1 without the easily breakable stuff.
Yeah, I think that's...
Without the part where you can win 90% of the maps in Valkyria Chronicles 1 by...
One is absolutely busted.
Bum rushing
2,
the point with scouts.
2 you don't play because that's the weird school one. That
3 only came out in Japan.
And then 4
Oh, 2 and 3 only came out in Japan.
2? No, I have a copy of
PSP?
Valkyria Chronicles 2. Yeah, it's a PSP
those
game.
are PSP games. What was 3?
3 is... So 3 is also a PSP game. But it's the PSP game where you're like the misfit group. You're the misfit Black Ops squad. You're the Suicide Squad, basically.
But is it any good?
I don't know.
I bet it's better than 2, but I bet it also has the same problem as 2, which is the maps are tiny because it's a PSP game.
Also, the tone of 2 is just atrocious. It's just anime horse shit every
insufferable.
Is there a fan translation of 3 yet? Oh,
yes, there is.
There is.
There was, yes. That was actually a very quick turnaround for that fan translation.
Number 9, Mario plus Rabbids franchise.
Yeah, sure.
Those games are way better than they have any right to be. Number 8,
That
Heroes
second
of
Mario...
Might and Magic. They're going to recommend 3.
Yeah, that's the one you recommend, because that's the one that people know.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm also a homer for 2.
You and I like 2 has aged better because it has better visuals.
It's also busted, and that actually makes it more fun.
Yeah, 2 is fun.
All right, so now the next couple here are a bit of a... Okay, so 7 is fine. 7 is Jeanne d'Arc.
Yeah, sure.
That's the anime pick. Number 6 is
wait,
Pathfinder
where's this list from?
Game Rant. But
Okay,
number 6
this list was written by a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you, Chris.
I would agree that Wasteland 3 is like in a ballpark. Pathfinder is
Kingmaker?
not in turn-based mode, maybe.
Yeah, but turn-based mode is not how you want to play that game.
Yes,
But
they
yeah,
could
I
never
would not
move.
say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so they actually even say this. This is a fun tactical RPG that uses the rule set of Pathfinder RPG of the Pathfinder RPG franchise. If played in turn-based mode, it's like the special system in the Fallout games.
Okay.
How does that make you feel?
Never mind. That is ChatGPT.
How does that make you feel, Brayden?
I don't know. That could also be somebody that's like being told, "We need you to shit out a list with this topic," and that's what they put out.
Huh.
It could also be somebody who needs a justification for putting a Pathfinder game in there.
I'm just saying, WWK. I want them to do. I want the sequel to Valkyria Chronicles. That is the Korean War. You're welcome, America.
Valkyria Chronicles, the Vietnam.
Okay, so number 5 is Final Fantasy Tactics. Now I am curious. Oh, well, what the fuck? Okay, so 5 is Final Fantasy Tactics. Number 4 is Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yeah, the most Fire Emblem video game.
If you're gonna put Pathfinder in there, you might as well put DOS 2 in there.
Look, I am not belittling Three Houses fans in any way, shape, or form.
But also, y'all were very thirsty for fan fiction.
But also, I would feel very bad if I told someone to go from Fire Emblem Three Houses to Original Sin 2.
I mean, if you told someone to go to Pathfinder, they'd have the same problem. As in, it's vastly more complex and much more difficult.
That's a bad recommendation. Number 3 is XCOM 1 and 2. I would probably stick with just 1.
Just 2.
Just 2?
XCOM 2 is a vastly better game.
I think that 1 is easier.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, we've already thrown it out the window, and these are just a list of tactics games that ChatGPT has assembled.
Number 2 is Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire.
Don't play that game turn-based.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem here.
That's the Pathfinder problem.
It literally says right here, if you enjoy Three Houses, maybe consider playing the turn-based version of Pillars of Eternity 2. Don't do that. That's bad advice.
That mode is neat. It is cool that they put it in there. Those game systems are not built around turn-based combat.
No. All right, I want you to guess what they have as number 1.
What do they have as number 1?
You give me one game guess.
Is it perhaps... Let's see, they already did FFT. They already did Tactics Ogre. It's gonna be something inane. Yeah, is it Persona Tactica?
No, it's a game that's on your Game of the Year list.
Oh.
Demon Hunters? Or the 40K Chaos Gate thing?
No.
Turbo Overkill, finally.
Troubleshooter.
No.
God, it...
It's Baldur's Gate 3.
Fuck off.
So what were you going to say about Troubleshooter?
Troubleshooter! That's a game everyone should play.
I think I own it.
Because Troubleshooter says, here are all these systems. We put them all in there. You only have to pay attention to half of them if you want. Troubleshooter, that's a video game.
Doesn't that also have a bunch of like visual novel-ish stuff in it though?
Yeah, it's got some fun manhua stuff. The English translation is like a little jank in an endearing way.
But like, if you want a Fire Emblem, but that has a whole lot of character stuff.
Baldur's Gate 3, according to this list.
Okay, but consider this. The people on the internet who got very into and very thirsty for Fire Emblem Three Houses characters are the same people who got very thirsty for Baldur's Gate characters. There's just a demographic. There's just a contingent of people out there that who I will call the horny constituency, who their biggest concern is can I make fan art of these characters kissing? Can you create a delivery mechanism for me to make art of these characters kissing each other?
Is how much of the Baldur's Gate 3 sales were due to it being horny?
I think some of it. I think that's definitely what helped online buzz.
I'm looking at another list of like games from the past to consider playing if you like Fire Emblem, and it has Ultima 3 Exodus on it, and I don't know how.
Okay, that was written by ChatGPT.
Let's try the gamer, because I know that they occasionally use ChatGPT.
Of course they do.
You already knows. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's all the places whenever he gets a
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yes. If that's what you're saying, like, oh God, Jesus, yeah, I already know the
Yeah,
website.
you know, it's the ones he follows on Twitter, and
no,
and then he will, and then in the middle of his workday,
let's be more specific. It's Google AMP on my phone.
In the middle of his workday, Chris Zombie Pie Redacted will at me on the Deep Listens Discord and say, "Have you seen this?" And it will be some like weird clickbait headline about like Final Fantasy 16 team got disbanded.
I mean, what else is he supposed to do while his students are taking tests or whatever?
Yes, underestimate the Fujoshi at your own peril, and the Fujoshi at heart. But
I actually like that article about how the King of Fighters lead artist and the King of Fighters team's like, no, actually the Fujoshi did save King of Fighters.
Oh, 1000%.
We were thinking of canceling that franchise.
They wanted Iori and Kyo to kiss.
But basically, so the story that came out with the King of Fighters team was that, like, yeah, so we were losing by a considerable margin to Street Fighter. Like, it was not a war.
Did that zombie just do a combat roll?
Sure did.
Great.
And they were like, well, we were doing like 98, and we were like, what if we just gave up? And then they decided to playtest the game and show off some art, and they realized that all of the people who volunteer were women, and we're like, what's up? And it's like, oh wait, it's all these women who want to see these dudes be femboys and like meet. And basically the way that it was translated for me, or the way that I was able to read it, is like one of the Fujoshis just said, please keep making us some meat.
Yeah, good.
And then that's why the King of Fighters team started to just lean into it.
Listen, I played some King of Fighters 2002 the other day. Those games are great. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, so here's what I was able to glean.
Why not 98? Because 2002 was the one I had on my Xbox.
Okay, so the original artists and like the lead for 94 said that the game almost got canceled and the team almost disbanded until the series consulted with a test group of primarily women, which they immediately identified as Fujoshi, who told the SNK art team that they thought that their male character designs were the best and that they should keep making, quote, man meat.
I don't disagree. So there's just one
thirsty
like
yaoi bait loving Fujoshi saved King of Fighters.
I just think one of the best things about like SNK, the SNK fighting games of that era are so effortlessly cool in a way that Street Fighter was not. Just
remember how they had the weird creepy guy with the hat and the glasses, and that was their Vega because he had the weird
but he's also a little Freddy Krueger guy.
He animates so much cooler.
Yeah. Like, all of the sprite work in those, especially, like, the later Neo Geo games where they just had a complete grasp of the hardware. And now I'm playing a crane game.
But yeah, my only problem with that era of SNK fighting games is those final bosses were fucked.
Oh, yeah.
The perspective here makes this irritating. I remember this one. Any further thoughts on Doom 3?
Justin, I'm gonna be honest with you.
You don't like this game?
I'm not having a great time.
I didn't think so.
I think the shotgun in this game is limp.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. I think there are weapons that make up for that, but...
Also, now I'm playing a crane game.
I still think about that whole, like, King of Fighters 2001 Ignis battle.
Yeah.
Just how fucked that entire thing is.
Yeah. Yeah, like Ignis and Orochi and Omega Rugal are just all... Oh, no, I can't even progress.
Like, even the Fatal
the...
Fury boss battles against Geese Howard are no fucking slouch.
Yeah. So here's my stance. Here's my stance on fighting game final bosses. It's way cooler when a fighting game final boss is just an old dude in a karate gi. Like...
Mr. Karate?
Like Mr. Karate or Heihachi Mishima. Know what's cooler than a demon or a god? It's Geese Howard. Because Geese Howard is just a man. But he's a man who will fuck you up.
I sure did have a fun time with Marino while we were watching Grub go through the reboot Mortal Kombat games, and he got to his first 2v1 battle. He's like, this sucks. And then we're like, you got like 12 more of these, my guy.
Anyway, how do you like physics engines in 2004?
I mean, Rugal is just a dude, and then he takes off his clothes and you realize he's a cyborg.
Toxic gas levels decreased 50%.
But this is why I think Heihachi is cool. Because unlike his sniveling whelp of a son and grandson, he doesn't need the power of the devil to kick your ass. He's just good at punching you with lightning.
If we're gonna talk about like man meat that gets the Fujoshi all excited, let's talk about like honorable mention to Rugal's kid.
Oh,
Adelheid,
yeah, Adelheid Bernstein.
2003.
Yeah.
There's a light on that crane that turns red.
Oh.
When it is over something to close. I thought there was in the first one.
Ask me anything about the deep lore of KOF. Alright, so...
Toxic gas is cleared. Waste disposal area now now safe for entry.
Hurry, we gotta pick up the pace. We got more men down. Bravo team is barely holding their own.
I also played some Tekken 2 recently.
That door's open now.
Yeah, but now I got all 3 of them. Also, I don't know anything about the current canon of KOF, because I haven't played 14 or 15. It seems like 15 was good. But, you know, it's one of those things where, other than the part where that game is still a little too expensive for knowing that I will never... if I ever were to play online, I'd get my ass handed to me. It's also, you know, the part where the owner of SNK is Prince Mohammed bin Salman. But yeah, Ash Crimson's back, I guess.
Yeah. Because they changed the time loop that erased Ash Crimson.
They changed the timeline after Ash changed the timeline.
Yeah, it got reset back.
Listen, Ash Crimson is absolutely a character designed for the Fujoshis. Him and Duo Lon.
They gave him more masculine cheekbones, so I don't know if that's still true. I don't think they're happy with that part.
Oh, how disappointing. Listen, I'm just happy in theory that they're making a new Garo, Mark of the Wolves. Like SNK turning around and after, you know, 13 almost bankrupted them. Because it turns out, what do I have to do here? Oh, did I already get the...
It's sad because 13 was a good game.
Yeah, 13's great. Those sprites are amazing, and also I can see how those sprites would have almost bankrupted the company. And that's when, you know, we got the... That's when we got the KOF MOBA. And the KOF shmup. Because Playmore was...
wanted to play more.
Yeah.
I thought you said Claymore. I was like, were we referring to like scary old anime now?
Someone just joined the Discord and apparently paid, so now we're down to just 3 more people.
You're welcome. Yeah, that was Lionheart. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Lionheart is in. It says, he said he's closing tabs over here and he wants to see the world burn. Is the Exit 8 a good game? A better game than Tears of the Kingdom? What's Exit 8?
I've watched VTubers play it. It's
a PT clone.
It is a scary hallways game.
It's a game that uses like a very hyper realistic look. And it's trying to do the PT format, which is
spooky hallways.
Spooky hallways. Spooky transforming hallways.
What does that have to do with Tears of the Kingdom?
Nextlander's Game of the Year podcast is what that has to do with. Would it surprise you to know that one Brad Shoemaker did not even play Tears of the Kingdom this year because he went back to Breath of the Wild and said, I'm going to finish that, and he didn't finish that either.
Well, I wish I liked Tears of the Kingdom more. And let me roll it back. I do like Tears of the Kingdom a lot. I wish Tears of the Kingdom did not have weapon durability. I fucking loathe that.
Just make more weapons. They're all disposable.
I don't
just
care.
remove
I've
them.
heard that.
Everything.
I do not want to dispose of them. I made a cool fucking diamond sword. I want to use it for more than 2 fights.
Yeah, that's a personal problem. Uh,
No, that's a game problem. Fuck them.
nah, listen, let me tell you about the best Zelda game of this year. Skyward Sword. Because I played it this year. And, I don't know.
Did you
I need
finish
to...
it?
No, I need to finish that game. I got to the sand ship. And then... personal. The last Metroid is old Skyward Sword going to be my old game of the year? Who's to say? I'm definitely not writing that list. In the process of. Definitely don't have hot takes to make about Okay. We're gonna use this thing. It's actually just so you're right in that Skyward Sword is not necessarily a me game on paper, but I think that game is very. That game feels like the realization of every 3D Zelda design trope. Ugh. I like games that aren't weird shooters or action games or survival horror, I swear. Just because those are the only ones I stream on the internet.
What's another thing you would like to stream?
So I have some things for the Wheel of Dubious RPGs 3.
Called Mega Man. Do you have any Mega Man games to
Do I have every
Lion
single
Heart
Mega Man
Collection.
Anniversary collection except the Battle Network one? Yes.
Do you like Mega Man?
I don't know.
Yeah. How do you feel about Mega Man X Command Mission?
Mega Man X Command Mission was one of the games I initially listed when we started off the deep end as, like, I would like to play the weird Mega Man X JRPG.
It's basically Final Fantasy X.
Okay. That's what we said about Third Age, and look how that turned out. I don't like these spiders.
Well, look forward to when we play Lethal Company tomorrow.
You also still have a sprint button.
Yeah.
Or you could just play something else that you like.
Well, that's Doom 3. Darn. No, my thing about Skyward Sword is just that game is good, and the puzzle design in that game is very sharp.
Background to shooters. Have you ever played Cultic?
I have played Cultic. Cultic is great.
I saw Civi11's video on that recently, and I was like, why didn't I buy this when I first heard of it?
Arbitrary Water says Cultic is good.
I also found out recently that Wrath Eon of Ruin comes out in early February, like 1.0. And I can't wait to play that.
Alright, who's ready for some garbage?
Okay, I'm ready for garbage. Wait a minute.
I'm gonna play something you... I thought you were gonna play... Whatever.
I just saw
what are you saying? Wait a minute for Lionheart. Yes, Command Mission has Axel in it. You don't have to play Command Mission.
Yeah, but it's got Axel in it, Justin.
All right, what's your go-to nation here?
I don't know yet.
All right.
I don't know yet. All right, we got to do window capture instead of game capture for some reason. So I've been playing a lot of this recently. Because I love fun. And I thought it would be funny if I did some online matches, or an online match. Should I do an online match, or should I humiliate myself against the AI?
Go with God.
Do either of you want to play some Age of Empires 2?
No.
No? Okay. Is it on Game Pass? Sure is. It's a Microsoft game. Alright, time to make an ass of myself.
Are you playing against the AI?
Yeah. Alright, so it turns out the hard AI has been my stumbling block. I can do moderate AI.
Okay.
Who should I try out? Ooh, the Slavs. Farmers work 15% faster. I want to get good with the Huns, I've decided.
Then why wouldn't you just play the Mongols?
Because the Huns don't have to build houses.
Okay.
I mean, sure, the Mongols get better horse archers.
Alright, just play the Huns.
But the Huns don't have to build houses.
Okay. Okay, baby.
Fucking play me right now. Download this game, coward. I am the Age of Kings. Oh.
Oh, this is an interesting start, huh?
Oh, I picked some sort of specialty. Nope, this isn't what I want. That's not the map I want.
Basic build.
Okay, lone villagers. Okay. Alpine Lakes. Amazon Tunnel.
Is that how Jeff Bezos gets stuff to me? The Amazon tunnel?
Yes.
Timo. 이버드바이.
Timo.
빌딩반 엠튼 디젝트.
Bildenbahn.
Llamas.
Амар минь би болгоё. Тийм ээ. Болгоё. Зүйтэй. Барилгачин.
So the thing I've figured out about this game and myself is that Age of Empires 2 is not necessarily the most complicated RTS.
No.
It has a lot of nuance and a lot of little things, but as far as I can tell, the way to win this game is just you have to keep your economy rolling at all times. So you can build a big army and throw it at the enemy base.
Yep. It was Dota before Dota. Always be Dotaling.
Bizim bari be. Motçum. Sakır.
Amr Mindu.
So the other thing that I think this definitive edition does that I think is very smart is the way it handles hotkeys, and that they are universal.
Oh.
It is just QWER for the top row, ASDF for the middle, and then ZXCV for the bottom. Which means you can very quickly queue villagers and get that macro, get those APMs. But also, I guess the start of I don't know if you know this, the start of the games just kind of have to spend most of the Dark Age hoarding as much food as possible.
Sakır.
Taza. Time. Süte. Berdırçın.
Timu.
Ançın. Sakır.
Berdırçın.
Is there any pro-level Age of Empires 2 players in the chat? Feel free to tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Ançın.
Thoughts about Age of Mythology?
Age of Mythology is good. I have not played it in years, however. So I would need to.
Are there any Age of Empires likes there?
Oh boy.
Empire Earth, kind of. I mean, the historical RTS in general. Yeah, Empire Earth.
Rise of Nations.
Rise of Nations, which is good.
You could say that, like, the Stronghold franchise is like a weird permutation, like Stronghold Settlers.
So as the Huns, since I am a cavalry-focused civ, I probably want to get to the Castle Age as soon as possible, right? That's the play. Because you don't get good cavalry until the Castle Age. Otherwise, it's just...
Alright, I've got... got another list.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no.
I can tell you're bored because you've gotten another list.
Alright, no. This one's good.
Uh-huh.
These are the 5 best Age of Empires clones. Ranked.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Number 5, Rise of Nations.
Sure.
Okay. I like the story mode in that. Number 4. Dawn of War Dark Crusade.
Yeah, my favorite historical RTS.
So good. Number 3. Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds.
Okay, that's literally true. As someone who played that game recently.
Number 2. Empire Earth. Number 1.
Beaten bad.
Okay, again, the list is best Age of Empires clones ranked. Number 1, Age of Mythology.
That's not an Age of Empires clone. That's just Age of Empires. That game is the real Age of Empires 3.
Oh fuck! I'm amazed they didn't like put Warcraft 3 on that list. Just if you're gonna do that, like put fucking Frostpunk on that list. Oh man, that's funny, man. That's funny. That's funny. Raiden, that was funny.
Is it?
Yeah. It made me laugh. You didn't laugh because you're a soulless zombie.
No, you're the one with zombie in his name.
You don't have a heart. You've got a black hole void with Tar.
No, Tar is that movie with Kate Blanchett.
Apparently Ben Pack put Counter-Strike 2 in his top games of 2023.
No, that checks out.
He didn't.
Because he was very into Valorant when that came out.
Oh. Okay.
I'm just happy that guy's in a better spot.
What is he doing these days?
He works for Null Signal.
What is Null Signal?
Rick and Slacker, what if I told you that insidious people whom I would normally call friend have recently gotten back into Dota in a way that concerns me?
Oh, they're a tabletop people group. Okay, whatever. I don't care. I do care, but I don't care.
Something I found out this week.
Yes.
That may or may not have any effect on anybody in this Discord. In Windows 11, you can apparently now uncombine and show the names of windows you have open instead of just having a bunch of icons. And that was real nice for me because I don't like having everything combined into an icon.
We also gotta start getting some stone mining. See, don't have to worry about houses.
Zeker? Die bot rooi. Berlichtchen. Timo, oorgatje. Amermindo. Berlichtchen. Berlichtchen. Zeker? Timo. Berlichtchen. 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 Bilimbein. Motchen. Timo. Motchen. Bilimbein. Zaza. Berlichtchen. Timo. Oorgatje. Zeker? Suite. Zaza. Timo. Berlichtchen.
Alright. Gonna stop building units and then just try to get as much food as possible so we can get to the castle age and start just throwing out horse archers.
Amermindo. Berlichtchen.
There is something there is a relaxing quality, I'd say, to the way that Age of Empires is very much about the slow build-up. Like, because of the way how that building health works, you can't really rush. In the same way.
Wait, what were you? Said it was a relaxing quality because what now? Sorry.
You can't rush in the same way. Like, you cannot just try to rush the enemy base because they can just garrison their villagers in the town center.
Mm-hmm.
Bilimbein. Berlichtchen.
And kill your units. So it's way more about, like, early game before you get siege weapons. You kind of just have to,
You just have to like set up your own place
you just
first.
want to disrupt their economy, basically.
So does this game effectively prevent like Zerg rushing?
You can't really rush in this game because your early game infantry are too weak. Yeah, there we go.
Timo. Suite. Berlichtchen. أمر من دون في بطاي تويتر بردخشن سكر بردخشن بردخشن
So I just beat the Ground Zeroes expansion for Quake. Yay.
Yeah.
Now I can finally move on to the good Quake expansion.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, Quake the Phantom Pain. Was it just Ground Zero or Ground Zeroes?
Ground Zero and the Reckoning.
Just Ground Zero and the Reckoning. Okay. So now I can play Call of the Machine. Get back to good Quake. Have you played this yet, Braden?
I played all of the Quake mission packs. The Quake 1 mission packs.
1 or 2? This is 2.
Oh, no.
I was wondering if it's... I was wondering if it's considered particularly hard.
I assume all of those mission packs are hard.
Mm-hmm. What difficulty did I play these on?
تيمو بالنبال سكر أمر من دون مطشن تيمه مطشن بالنبال
Tata. Oorhatching.
أمر من دون تيمو سكر تاتا مطشن
All right, now that we got, now we can get Tarchons.
What I'm asking Horse Apples in the chat is, should I play it on medium or hard?
I play them all on hard because I hate myself.
Uh-huh.
Motching.
بالنبال بردخشن
I guess that would require a little bit more context on, like, if I am fairly okay at single-player shooters, should I play on medium or hard?
Yeah, the Machine Games levels are excellent.
I just started on hard, so whatever. If I find it too much, I'll restart. Or just suffer through. I'll probably suffer through. Yeah. Okay, then hard should be fine. I did Doom Eternal on Ultra Violence, and
I also
cold. How cold is it where you are?
بالنبال. بردخشن.
Freezing.
Currently 34 degrees outside. 31, I'm sorry. My phone refreshed.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
Cameramandu. Berdachung.
Brayden, you said you didn't watch a ton of anime this year, right?
No, I didn't. I watched Gundam Witch.
Season 2 was good. Season 2 was good.
Yeah, it was.
I watched the first 3 Rebuild movies.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, he did. And then, and his, yeah, when he, messaged me, being like, yeah, so that was the thing that happened, huh? And I went, yeah.
Yeah, you got 3.33.
Yeah. That was a weird movie. I like those movies quite a bit more than I liked Neon Genesis Evangelion.
That's a valid opinion.
Like, I didn't like NGE all that much.
3.33 is great in that 3.33 is, like I said, the biggest middle finger I've ever seen the creator give.
How exactly would you say it's a middle finger?
That movie is giving you exactly what you don't want.
Yeah, deliberately.
That movie, that entire movie is, if the 2.22 is giving the fans what they think they want, then the third one is
basically everything that 2 does. Imagine the opposite happening. And you to live with that. Well, anyways, watch it. It'll be great.
Well, I have to watch. I finished 3. I gotta watch 4.
Oh, you watched 3? Oh, yeah.
I did watch 3. Like, I heard both you and Braden say it's a kind of a middle finger to the fans. And like,
people were not happy what happened to Kaworu.
To who?
Bomb collar.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured that was gonna. As soon as he put it on, I knew that was gonna happen. So. Also, everything about that character. I understand the original. He had some implications going on, but everything about him in this one, like, just seemed very different from his original, or at least somewhat. He didn't play much of a role in the original, like an important role, just not much in it.
His important role is dying and then thus throwing Shinji into his depressive state, thus redefining the entire show. Anyways, yeah. The last film in the film trilogy is actually good. It's just a good.
Does it explain what's going on a little bit more?
Yes.
Yes. It is actually just a genuinely good movie that ends the entire series and franchise on a good note. Okay. No bullshit.
I was gonna watch it today, but it is apparently 2.5 hours, and I was just not in a mood to sit down for 2.5 hours of anime. So I'll get to it tomorrow.
Amormindu. Time. Zute. Matchung. Matchung.
Alright, give me these relics.
But no, like, the thing I didn't like about the original a lot was it spent a whole lot of time with Shinji moping, and like, that is a thing here, but A, it's a lot more condensed because it's in film form, and B, his reasons for doing so are usually a lot more
Yeah, it's
valid,
almost like Anno was going through a mental breakdown and or developing depression without any form of therapy while he was making a television show.
Yeah. But as a thing I'm entertained by.
Oh yeah.
I don't think the original show is more interesting to talk about, probably.
And then also, the reason why he was put in his position of power, this is the part that some people talk about, and then also it's important to recognize this. Gynax had set Anno up to fail because they predicted that the show would be terrible, and because they had put an insurance policy. Basically,
they producers it.
They did the producers, predicting that by setting a person who was mentally unstable and or desperately needed therapy and to take a break. They wanted Neon Genesis Evangelion to fail and had taken up an insurance policy purposely in hopes of Neon Genesis Evangelion to not do financially well. And then the producers happened, and then they were found guilty of tax fraud.
Sounds like they deserved it. Yeah, like, I understand why it's important, and I imagine if I had watched that show as, like, a 17-year-old or something, instead of as I was 31 or 30 when I watched it, I think I would have had a lot more fond memories of it.
An important show.
Yeah.
Oh, they're building camels. They're trying to counterplay me.
I do. The only real complaint I have about the rebuild movies is, Hideki. Nobody told him, hey, you should probably scale back on.
You should stop sexualizing these 14-year-old girls.
Yeah.
Hey, Asuka sure does feel confident about her body. She walks around fucking butt-ass naked a whole bunch, and then Andor is bending over and ass shot right in the center of the screen.
But there's a scene in the second movie where she is distressed about, like, clearly distressed about something, and yet the camera is like, look at her panties. I'm like, for one, she's 13 or 14. For two, she's clearly not in a mood. That's not great.
He's a pervert. Like, he's admitted he's a bit of a pervert.
A bit.
Timo.
Time to get more aggressive.
I don't know. Still, everything's better than the start of End of the Evangelion. That's baby shit compared to the start of End of the Evangelion, man.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're into anime enough to enjoy Rebuild, you've already come across something like this and know how you handle it. Which is a sad state of affairs anyway, but also it just shouldn't be there.
What if I told you that the Huns get faster trebuchet? Or is it more accurate? Anyway.
빌린 반.
아무르민두.
티모. 멋져.
I just like... planting a castle in the middle of the map.
Bosbosno time. Amarwen azuke. Bosbosno boy.
빌린 반. 멋충.
Timo, rijden dat. Itle goed skri. Sorry, workshop dat shot. Shot sans Beijing itle goed skri. Timo, workshop dat shot.
بداية شوية تكتش برد خشن
티모. 발득충.
Beijing. Timo, shot sans rijden dat. Itle goed skri.
Are you having fun, Brayden?
Yeah.
You think you can beat hard?
No, this is moderate. This is a moderate AI.
Do you think you ever will be capable of it?
Is Age of Empires 2 considered a particularly difficult single-player game?
I could beat the campaigns in this.
Timo. Shot sans
Are you ready to get bossed around about how to play a Lethal Company correctly by Gino tomorrow?
Has Gino ever played Lethal Company?
No, but you know that's what he's gonna do. Brayden, come on.
Yeah.
You know. Don't lie. It's okay. I yell a lot.
Yeah, you do.
And then complain about games that I willingly subjected myself. And then also eat on stream.
Mm-hmm.
But usually never my streams.
Go on.
These are my failings. Gino also has failings. You have failings.
Mm-hmm.
We all have failings. We're human. You know what? You know how Gino's gonna react to Lethal Company.
He's gonna call it bullshit.
He's gonna call it bullshit, and he's gonna start giving us orders. And then we're gonna start pulling pranks on him to annoy him. And it's gonna be great. Should we try and download the mod that allows for more than 4 players, or would that be too much?
I mean, if he's already gonna be a little bossy, maybe stick with only 4 for now.
That's literally how we're gonna end 2023, huh?
Yeah.
That'll be great. I'm gonna amend my 2023 review grade now.
Indifferent.
He's too into Age of Empires at this point, I suppose.
It was you, Brayden.
It was me? I did it. I Age of Empires.
You won?
No, but I basically have. Because the thing is... Yep, agree. See, it's also good because the AI will just automatically... concede when you destroy their town centers.
Whereas in OG Age of Empires 2, some dipshit will probably hide one unit in the forest, and then you have to go track their ass down.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the stream. Is anyone still streaming?
Joku's doing Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, I've heard of this game.
I think you have opinions about this game.
Yeah, it's the 4th best game of 2023. Alright, thanks everyone for watching, and remember...
He's going there. And then he'll be there.
Wizards and Warriors 2000 is a computer role-playing game developed by Heuristic Park.
Talk to y'all later.
great. I can press a button now. I can press a button to end the stream. Just like this.